Not at all. There is actually pin drop silence from the ruling dispensation, and it's the same ruling party, the BJP, both in the center and in the state of Gujarat, which usually is very active on social media and otherwise. There is absolute radio silence at both ends. In fact, the outcry is from women's groups, from civil liberties, democratic rights groups, who are repeatedly saying, please place before us documents on the basis of which this kind of executive decision has been taken. All we have seen is a member of the ruling party in Gujarat, who's also a member of the committee that has allowed this early release, say that these are upper caste Brahmin convicts, and therefore they must be having good values, inherently good values because of their caste status, and therefore they should be enlarged in this manner.
You've described it as a travesty of justice, abuse of power, but also how chilling is it for women and girls across the country to see these men being garlanded and fed sweets after they were freed?
I think for all women and for any sane-minded citizen, this is a horrific situation to witness, particularly in India, where since 2012 gang rape of Nirbhaya in Delhi, there has been a very, very high decibel conversation on the issue of sexual violence. And literally young people, women have pushed the discourse to regain control of women's control over their own lives and their bodies, and to change this kind of rampage that is taking place through sexual violence and others. We now see the signaling from the state that certain kinds of women's bodies, for certain vested interests, political agendas, are fair game, and the domino effect of this will be felt across the board for all women. This is extremely regressive and a huge setback for all women in this country.
Bilkis Banu was a teenager, 19 years old, and pregnant when she was gang raped. Her three-year-old daughter was murdered, and also members of her family were attacked. Can this decision be challenged in court, and does she have the means to do so?
In my view, it is not Bilkis Banu's burden at all. This is a burden that she has carried for too long. For over 20 years, she has fought a very difficult, arduous legal battle. The burden really is on the state, and the state appears to be either silent, indifferent, or complicit. And therefore, the burden really is now on the constitutional courts, the Constitutional Court of Gujarat and the Supreme Court of India, which is the apex court and the guardian of all fundamental rights and freedoms. It is for the courts or any other, the National Human Rights Commission, it is for them to take this challenge further. It is an order that, to my mind, is infirm, vulnerable, and open to judicial review and will not withstand judicial scrutiny. I think the test is today of our constitutional institutions.